are going to move to our lightning talk. Okay, so now we have four amazing ladies that are going to join us for the lightning talk. And I am going to now ask my colleague, Al Khair. She will take it forward and she will introduce the lightning talk. Hi, Al Khair.
Hi, Ala. Thank you, Ala. Thank you, everyone. Hello, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. I hope you are doing well and you are enjoying the career day with us. And now it's the lightning talk time. I'm glad to host this session with Dr. Sirine Taleb and me, Khair Boumeddan, and of course with our amazing speakers. We have four amazing and interesting talks for 5 minutes for each, of course. Unfortunately, the 5 speakers would not be able to join us. Dr. Yasmine Fadel, due to an emergency. Of course, you can ask your question during the presentation in the chat box. And after the presentation, the speakers will answer your questions. So let's start. Our first lightning talk will be the 5 mistakes that every newbie data science has to avoid by Sarah Mestiri, who is a data science at REMERGE of Retargeting, Tunisia and Germany. Welcome, Sarah. Hello, Sarah, welcome. Hello. And please go ahead. Hello, Sarah.
Should we stay without the camera? Thank you, Khair. I just tried to open the camera, I couldn't, so I just wanted to ask if.
Okay, feel
no
free.
Problem.
Yeah,
no, I couldn't get the permission to open my camera, that's why.
Okay,
anyway, not
could
a
you
problem.
give her the
Yeah, that's fine. You can go ahead
okay.
with the presentation.
Okay, great. Sarah, please go ahead with sharing your screen.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, we can see you now. Great.
Yeah, hi. Okay. Welcome everyone. I'm Sarah, and today I'm going to speak about 5 mistakes that every newbie data scientist has to avoid. So I want to look at this picture and ask you which flower does attract you. First, when you look, you can write maybe in the chat. But yeah, I guess that the flower that attracts you is the red one because it's different. And then also in data science, in tech and computing market, also the data science jobs are one of the most attractive jobs, just like Dr. Anna said in the keynote. But still, in order to succeed in your career as data science and start the career, there are some mistakes to avoid in order to quick start your career. And today I'm talking about the 5 ones. The first one that comes to mind is theory. Does it sound familiar to you? I know, especially for women, like before looking for a new job, before going for the next career step, we want to be qualified, have all the qualifications, take this course before applying, and then the other course, and then, and stay in the theory. This is the first mistake. How to avoid it? What to do instead? It's to start before you are ready. Theory is essential, but it's not the only. You don't have to know everything. Employers care about your experience, your practice, what to do, what you have done, and then the best way then is to practice, develop personal projects, analyze some data, and so on. Learn from that, practice again, and then master. The second mistake is jumping right into the hype. We know that data science is called one of the sexiest jobs. So let's see what is the hype and then the reality. The hype is, as I said, the sexiest job, and then also the deep learning, the NLP, and advanced algorithms that are used by big companies. The reality, though, is data science is very broad as a field. And data science role is still developing, especially in startups, and there is a lot of ambiguity. So you need to really get clear about what job role you are interested in. then a lot of the problems can be solved with traditional algorithms. And so for me, I consider jumping in deep learning, for example, or other advanced algorithms right away from the start is like jumping into the sea without knowing how to swim. So start simple and grasp the basics first. The next common mistake is, I want to illustrate it with this picture as you see it. So imagine you are the woman sitting, and then there is a person explaining to you what is a car, but this person doesn't speak your language. So you may start wondering, maybe he's speaking about a bike. This happens when we don't know the other language of the person. The same for the data scientist. If they don't speak the language of the stakeholders and clients, whatever technique or graphs or solutions they present, the clients won't understand them. So it's important to work on your communication skills. And this can be done by sharing your knowledge, participating in talks, and so on. The fourth mistake, which is a little bit personal, as I moved from software developer to data scientist, so a lot of people think they are disadvantaged because they don't have development skills. However, they are so much different. And some of the main differences are developer have a defined scope, however, data scientists have a broad scope. One of the things that matter in data science is having the domain knowledge expertise. The other thing is like a data scientist focuses more on discovery, research. And however, the developer is more into building. And then there is coding for the developer, while meanwhile, data scientist is more about insights and analysis. Those insights and analysis go more into business value than customer value, which is more for the developer. Then the last mistake, suppose that you nail it and check it off the first mistake, you start applying for jobs, right? However, relying on job application only is not the right way to go. You need to stand out, just like the red flower that I mentioned in the beginning. You need to share your story, connect with new people, join data science events and meetups in order to really differentiate yourself and be different and stand out. So thank you. And to summarize, you have the 5 mistakes are don't get stuck in theory, practice, and then there is don't jump right away in the hype. And then the third mistake is to avoid is working on your communication skills, share your knowledge, explain to non-technical people, also kids. And the fourth one is it's okay to not have the background of a developer because it's different. And then the fifth one is to stop relying on job application only and put yourself out there. Thank you so much. If you are curious about my journey, you can check my website or have any question. I'm happy to connect on LinkedIn. That's all.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for the interesting topic and for the tips. And now our second speaker is Zeina Saadeddin, Open Development and Education from Palestine, and she will talk about the remote working. Hello, Zeina.
Hello, Melkhair.
Hello, Zeina. Welcome.
Welcome.
Please go ahead. The floor is yours.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Your screen is clear, Zeina.
Okay, I will start. Today
yes,
I will,
please.
Today I will talk about remote work, and I will tell a very tiny story from my experience. once the COVID started, my family told me, why you keep your work while there is people are losing their jobs. So I tell them that I work remotely, so I don't need to go into a place or see or touch any sort of interaction. So this is a start for building a community in remote work. So I will share with you some of experiences to build your own steps into remote work. So first, I will not rely on job search heavily. I will say that each one of the a remote worker have its own or her own story, because each one of us have the skills that differ from others. So for example, there is a developer, designer, teacher, there is many sort of jobs. So you will write your own story based on your skills and your the job needed. So from my own experience, I will tell that these are the steps to build your own story, to get an honest moments with yourself and talk about your skills and what other skills you need to learn, and to join a mentorship consultation group in order to learn from their stories in remote work. Also, to find a remote job search through typing on Google what you need, and the job boards websites will come on your Google, and you will get one by one. But before that, you will know that there is a remote interview skills needed, so you will build it, and then you will go back into step number 3 to your remote job search. And then after you build your own story, you can share your learning and hiring journey through social media. As an example, we have a lady called Lama, and Lama, she's having 3 years of experience, and she would like to change her career into a remote job in full stack engineering, and she would like to have this remote based on Europe. And the industry she would like to tackle is education, but she know that her back-end skills is not as needed in the industry, and she only have more skill in front-end skills. So she first need to learn the skills missing, and throughout the learning, she would like to post that on LinkedIn and on GitHub profile and on her website. So she will build a profile for her. And then she will open a link in her LinkedIn mentioning that she is available for remote work. This is very important because LinkedIn, there is remote recruiters will come to see your profile if you open that as you are available for remote work. And then you can join, she can join some algorithmic interview skills like lead code, because she tackles full stack engineering, and some companies need these skills. She follows remote recruiters on LinkedIn, where they post jobs related to her job search and industry. And then she find a job board called Europe Jobs, and she start applying, and she failed and learned from her mistake until get hired. So this is a story of Lama. And if you would like to have resources and you follow what Lama do, you can type on Google what you need. Like, I need an online remote job in where, and if I need an online remote job for what skills I have. And I will share something interesting with you all, which is awesome remote job, this repo on GitHub. There is some trick in GitHub. If you want something very awesome, you can go into awesome list, And this is the awesome remote job list. So you will find here the article and posts, videos, books, job boards. So you will go and see all these, and you will have job boards aggregations, and you will have also something called remote, everything remote. And there is also companies with remote DNA, which means that company are remote people from over all the world. So it's very important to join and see what is going on in the market, and to go into, for example, build in like this as a job board, GitHub jobs, anywhere remote like this. You can find and you can apply, but first you have to build your own skills based. And as advice, I would like to advise all of you to have a consistency in your profile, which means if the recruiter will go into your LinkedIn, or will go to your website, or will you go to your CV, to have a consistency everywhere. So this is mainly what I would like to share. As a developer, manager, designer, data analytics, health provider, educator, you can build your own remote success story. Thank you. And you can find more if you would like to have more consultation in my LinkedIn profile.
Thank you, Zeina. Thank you for sharing the repo. I think it will be useful for everyone. And now let's move to the next lightning talk, which is your toolkit to transition from academia research to industry, by Dr. Sameh Benmahcene, data science team lead at Emirates Group. Welcome, Doctor. Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hello. Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead and sharing your screen.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, perfect. Good. Hi everyone. Thank you for inviting me. I'm very happy to participate in this conference. So today I would like to give you a toolkit, some tips on how to do the transition from academia research to industry. So for that, I would like to talk a little bit about my journey. So I was born and raised in Tunisia, and after my high school, I got scholarship and I went to France. I did engineering school there. And after my engineering school, I was proposed a PhD, and I said, yeah, why not? Let's do it. And also I worked as a research scientist. But after that, I decided to do a switch and go to industry. And I started as a consultant, as a data scientist, and I continued from there in the industry since then. And now I'm working in UAE with Emirates as a data scientist team lead. So as you saw, there is a switch, there is a transition at a certain moment of my career. And why? What motivates this transition? So many reasons can push you to do this switch. And you need to embrace them and to accept them. For me, I think my career vision was more mature in the end of my PhD, and also I was feeling that this is not for me. Like the academia was not something I would like to do it in a long term. I really enjoyed my PhD experience and the research, this scientist research career I had, but I thought I would like to be something more dynamic and more in front of customer and see really products that are impacting people's life very in the short term. Also, there was some challenges. So there were not enough job opportunities in academia. It's a very competitive world. There's a lot of pressure related to publishing, and I was not very comfortable with that. And finally, I wanted something where I could have better balance between my family and my work, and also a better financial situation. So I decided to switch to industry, and I went through a journey. I wanted to share with you a few tips that hopefully will help you also. So first, be clear with yourself. So be clear with yourself on what you want. So what kind of job you would like to go to in an industry? What kind of company? What type of working environment? This is very important. Read about that. Read about different jobs offers. See where you see yourself. Really try to visualize yourself. This has helped me a lot. Like every time I read a job offer and visualize myself and see, okay, am I really fitting there? Am I going to be happy there? And sometimes you will feel that you are confident and comfortable about that and will help you to do the next step. Second, create your branded resume. You have very valuable skills at the end of your PhD or after your academia career, either technical or soft skills, and recognize them, list them down and put them in your CV. Your CV needs to be very simple, very clear, very light. Use simple words because in the industry, they will focus more in your project, in your achievement, in the benefit that you brought, more, for example, on your research paper. So no need to list all your research paper, for example, or your research workshop, because maybe it will not be relevant for this position. Stay humble, make a light CV, and show the skills that are branding you. Be a storyteller. This is, I think, was the most useful thing when I was searching for a job after my career in academia. Like, you need really to have a clear story in your mind that you would like to tell the recruiter when you are going for interviews. Some people will say, oh, she's from academia, so very technical. She will have maybe even a boring story. No, you have a very good story and you have a very impressive story to tell. And prepare it. You need really to prepare something that is tight, concise, very coherent, that show how you progressed from different steps in your career and how you end up now applying to this to the industry world. And also embrace your success and failure in your storyteller, and don't focus only on what you achieve, but what you are able to achieve in the future. And if your recruiter is really convinced by your story, then yeah, he will hire you, even if you're not maybe the best candidate there. Network. This is really very important and helped me a lot when I was searching for a job in industry, because you can see people who went through the same journey, really, and they will give you a lot of advice that will inspire you. She did it, I can do it. So yeah, networking is really very important. Go to meetups, invite people for coffee, speak up, create a network that will help you in the future. And finally, accept to start over. So you did a PhD, you work in academia in a very technical domain, you are expert in a domain. Sometimes you will have the chance to work in this domain, but sometimes maybe you will start in a new domain. You also have skills that maybe you need to learn from the beginning, and that's fine. Like for myself, I needed to learn how to code correctly. I needed to learn also how to use some technical tools. I needed also to learn how to speak to business, how to understand their languages and to adapt to my environment. And that's fine. I mean, it will probably take a little bit of time in the beginning, but then you will go fast and you will go also higher. So stay focused on your objectives and enjoy the journey. That's it. Hopefully these tips will be helpful for you. If you have any question or you would like to discuss more this topic, I'm very happy to connect with you, and see you soon. Thanks.
Thank you, Sameh. It was very interesting. Thank you. Now it's the fourth lightning talks, last but not least, with Dr. Chada Benmahcene from Algeria, who is a staff technical product manager. Who is she? A technical product manager at FREDJ Algeria and UAE, and she will talk about the technical skills for a technical product manager. Hello, Dr. Chada. Hello.
Chada, are you here?
Yes, hello. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you. Welcome, Dr. Chada.
Thank you so much, Al Khair, and just maybe a very small correction, but I think it might be highlighted. This is not, I'm not doctor, but I am Islam Manal Benmahcene, and I'm very glad to be with you all here today. Let me turn on the camera. Can you see me?
Yes, we can see you. Welcome.
Okay, perfect. Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing.
Please go ahead and sharing your screen.
Sure. Thank you so much. All right. So give me a few minutes. I'll be sharing my screen and then we can start the talk.
Sure.
Right. Awesome. So
Please, if you have any questions, you can ask it in the chat box, and at the end, all the speakers will try to answer the questions.
All right, so I'm sharing my screen. Can you see me? Can you see it now?
Not yet.
Okay. Let's just try again. I'm gonna try again. I'll share and stop and share. Yep, no issues. How about now?
Now it's clear.
Okay, great, amazing. Let me put it into the presentation mode, and then we'll take it off from there. Can you see its presentation mode now?
Yes, it's very clear.
Amazing, amazing. So first of all, thank you so much for having me here in the 7th Annual International Arab Women in Computing and Technology Conference. I'm very glad to be speaking in here with everyone in the Career Day. We have been having an amazing days overall throughout the conference earlier, and I'm sure you have been enjoying this day, and we were enjoying what's coming after in the conference as well. I am Chada Benmahcene, Senior Technical Product Manager at Baker Hughes, which is an energy technology company. And today I'm going to talk to you about how to rock as a technical product manager. So I've been really talking about 5 main skills which are coming out from 5 main stories. So 5 stories that actually have been really kind of like engraving into my technical products management career. And this is how actually I got to them today to really bring them to life to you and out of those stories. So let's, without actually any further ado, let's go to those 5 stories. First of all, people. Talk to people. You might have been hearing this here and there. You might be having basically really listening to this here and there. Let me give you a little bit of a context. And this is actually the story of me being as a technical product manager in the energy industry and how it's relating to this first skill. So being a technical product manager, what does it mean? And really actually, what is the story behind being a technical product manager? Day to day, what I do, I build software to reduce emissions, and so that actually we can help the world and help the planet to be in a better situation by reducing the emissions, the gas emissions, specifically the CO2 and methane emissions from our operations in the field, in the oil and gas fields, or actually if we are having already carbon, we make sure that actually we're storing it, or we are monitoring how much really the flare that actually gets burned, how much really also actually it gets out of CO2, and we make sure that we're monitoring and we're reducing that using the software. And now as a technical products manager, what I do is that I'm responsible about delivering this software, making sure the users are happy with it, making sure everything around actually the user experience is as expected and the delivery is as per time and budget. Now, when I say people, you're going to ask me, who are the people that you're going to talk to? And this is actually one story that I had once from my mentor. I was in Italy, I was working in Italy. I had that kind of actually, between me and the people, the language barrier, I would say. And I was trying to kind of compensate this by actually having lunch with as many people as possible and kind of breaking the ice there. And that was an advice from my mentor. And it helped so much in actually bringing those users together, bringing the stakeholders together, bringing the sponsors. It's just a simple lunch that made me be able to talk to people easily. And from there, I was able to kind of actually deliver my software in a better way. So as a technical products manager, since you're responsible about the delivery, as we mentioned earlier, and to be the delivery of the entire software that actually you're handling, you must be the coordinator amongst your users, your engineers, your developers, your stakeholders, your sponsors, your executive leaders, everyone who has an impact or has an effort in that project. You have to know how to talk to them. So that's actually the first one from the first story in Italy. Second one is be technology rounded. So very recently and lately, we have seen actually the impact, or actually the wave, let me say, of having the specification on how it's really important to be specialized. Let me say, I want to say specialization. So specialization has been enforced a lot lately, and everyone is encouraged to have a specialty and to be an expert in a very specific domain. But you as a technical product manager, especially technical product managers, are expected to be technology around it. I wouldn't say technology agnostic, but I would say technology around it. Why? The reason for that is, one day, I have a team who is working on cloud developers, and I have another team who are data engineers, and I have designers. So I had basically, we had one issue that literally needed to put the data mindset that's actually coming from the data engineers to put it in cloud mindset with the cloud developers. And me being already knowing actually what's the technical details about when we're talking about Hadoop and when we're talking about basically the data stack and all, I know about that. I was able to easily link it to the issues that actually we're having in cloud and solve it that way. So developers team actually, which are mainly software developers, they're not actually really data specific. They did not have that aspect from the data side. So it's really important for you to be technology rounded as a technical product manager to be able to connect the dot, really to connect the dot for your teams so that actually they are able to take it forward and they're able to not have those barriers, let me say. The third point and the third story is really industry and domain knowledge. So this one is a very funny story. I basically, when I started my journey, or when I started my career, my professional career, I always thought that as someone who is digital tech and a tech expert and basically in a tech domain, you really need to be focused on knowing your technical stuff. So that was kind of like, what we have been engraved from school, I would say. We were like in AMCT and all the hackathons and like, everywhere the technical mindset is very, very, very emphasized. And this is what I took with me to the career side and basically while being in a professional area. One time, my manager came in and we had this project. It was an ERP project, and I was supposed to act as a PMO in that project. And she asked Chada, how do we buy this? Do you know how actually we buy this and we get that and all? I was like, I have my product manager. He can tell. I mean, I have functional experts. They can tell. Why would I need to do this? Why do I need to know that? And then she got deeper. She was like, the second level of questions. And she was like, okay, let's say they will tell you, how do we buy? Do you know how do we do this and this and this and that? And I was like, oh my God, you're getting into an area that's absolutely not mine. I'm supposed to know the technical stuff. Why are you asking me about those stuff? And then she was like, no, Chada, you need to know this, because if you don't know actually the actual process, and if you don't know the actual domain or how the operations really work, you will not be able to advise on the best technology. Yes, they will be always the ones actually to tell you what to do or what to use. You will not have that ability to actually bring something back to the table saying, using that process, because we're having that process A to B to C, and because it's not A to D to C, then we need to use that technology of A and the technology of B. So it's very specific, and it's very important to know your industry, to know that your domain, even if you think it has absolutely nothing to do with the technical side, still there is that term of product in your title. And as long as you are a product manager, you just not know, actually, you don't need to know how your product works, but in fact, you need to know how your product plays into the entire ecosystem of that company, of that suite, of that platform, or of that offering that you are offering to the customer. This is always important, and a lot of people actually usually miss that big picture, while it's really important as a product manager to keep it. You have to be deep into the technology, as I said, technology around it, but also an industry and domain knowledge around it. The fourth point, which might be simple and it might be straightforward to other people, while for others not, is certifications. After all, we are in a world where basically every single thing gets updated every single day. We're in a world where actually things are pushed to the limit every single minute, let me say. We are in a world where things are like updating every single day. So we need to have something that actually says, at least I have the foundation. Certifications will not be everything. You will still actually be certified and you will need to do a lot of work, whether it's technical or in product manager. You'll still have to actually put in the effort, and you'll still have to do even more to stay up to date and to keep yourself actually to the bar of what's going on in technology. However, the certifications will at least assure whoever your manager, or better, whoever is interviewing you, or whoever basically is trying to evaluate your competency for something specific in that domain, this will ensure for them that at least you have the basis and you are trying yourself to be up to date. As a product manager, you always need to know what's going on in the market for your product. And that's what I mean by industry and domain knowledge. And you need to know also what's going on in technology, which is by certification. And the last point, and the last basically skill that I think is really actually up into everywhere, and we have been talking about it actually throughout the conference for so long, is data, data, data. As a technical product manager, you'll be doing a lot of decisions. Make sure that those decisions are always backed up with data. It's not only the business leaders who need to take actually decisions based on data, not only the data engineers who actually take, work with data. Even you as a technical product manager, you have the data of your performance of the product. How are you doing actually with the latency? With how are you doing with basically the metrics of users, the metrics of satisfaction from users, number of downloads, number of conversions, if there's any conversions coming back and all. If you are in e-commerce, you will have some very specific metrics for your e-commerce products, and so on and so forth. You will need to build a roadmap for your product as a technical product manager. How are you going to build that roadmap if you don't have data to support that kind of vision, which is a long-term vision? So again, whatever specialization you would choose as a technical product manager, and let it be, as I mentioned earlier, you could be specialized, and again, you can and you should be specialized in something else, but don't forget to be technology around it. You might choose to be specialized in machine learning or something very specific in AI. Let's say NLP, for example. You are for natural language processing, you're very specific into natural language processing, and that's basically where you want to take your career on, even as a technical product manager. So be it. You can be an expert in NLP, in natural language processing, and all your products are actually around that, yet you are a person also who has the data analytics skills and can make decisions for their product based on data. You are also a person who can interact with the cloud engineers. You are a person who can interact with the software in the backend and the database and the development arena. So all of this, I know there are a lot of expectations from a technical product manager, but with a lot of rewards comes a lot of responsibility, as we all know. So let's sum it up. As I mentioned earlier, talk to people, all kinds of people, users, engineers, managers, sponsors, executives. Be rounded up with technology. Technology is not only your specialization. Your specialization is important, but you as a technical product manager, it's your responsibility to make sure you are able to speak the language of each and every single person in your team. And the other point is industry and domain knowledge. You can never build something if you don't know actually how it operates and how it really positions itself in that specific market or in that specific company or in overall offering, if we can say so. Certifications, so that you can always prove that you are up to the level and you're always up to date with your skills to your team and to your hiring managers, if so on. And then the last thing is data, your backbone for your decisions as a product manager or as a technical product manager. Thank you so much, everyone. If you would like to connect with me, I would be happy to receive any of your questions. I am on LinkedIn. I'm also putting my email in here. And thank you so much, Al Khair and Ala and everyone in the conference for all your efforts. Very happy to be here and happy to receive your questions also.
Thank you so much, Chada. Personally, I have enjoyed this amazing presentation as well, all the lighting talk presentation. So let's move to questions. Ala, do we have questions in the chat box?
Yeah, it seems we don't have a question, but since we are running a little bit late, 10 minutes late, so we can actually move now to break for 5 minutes. And if you have any question about anything during this time, if you want to jump in and discuss with the speakers, with the audience, you can just go ahead, ask your question, unmute yourself, and start the conversation. Thank you very much, all the amazing lightning talk speakers. Thank you, Khair, for the facilitation. And yeah, let's take a 5 minutes break.
Thank you all.
So I would like to paste the question here. I will. You can click on the link and go there and ask the question. So where are you connecting to us today? Where are you from? Where are you now? We would like to see the diversity in the attendees. If you have any questions for the panelists or the lightning talk, you can also paste in the chat. You can click on the link that I shared in the chat and add your location there. So I will present the results. Yes, we have people joining from everywhere: Palestine, California, USA. Wow, it's very early there. Thank you all for joining. Yemen, Qatar, Berlin, Dubai, Algeria, Abu Dhabi. Thank you all for being here today.
Ala, if you allow me, I see a question here for PM. I'm not sure if basically it's to me, but I can answer.
Yes, go ahead. I didn't see the chat yet.
Okay, yeah.
So we have a question from Amani. Okay, switching from developer to data science to PM. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So, Amani Bouralmi, I hope I'm saying I hope I'm saying it correctly. So yes. She's asking, what would be your advice for someone switching from developer, data scientist to PM? What skills or certifications he should start with? Okay. So first of all, Amani, congratulations for just thinking about actually this step and thinking about actually challenging yourself and taking it up to be a PM after or switching from a developer data scientist. I would say the first thing, actually, the 5 points that I mentioned are only not for you to rock as a TPM or as a current PM, but it's also for you to actually get in. So make sure you're strong in data, make sure you're strong in all kind of technology and at least the delivery. If you are a software engineer, make sure that actually you have worked both in the back end and in the front end. You as a PM, you are supposed and you are expected to know about the UX and the UI design, the frameworks, how to basically make the validation the validation interviews with the users, all of that. So at least make sure that you as a software engineer, you're getting different experiences as a software engineer throughout the life cycle of the software. So back end, some front end, some cloud. So all of this will help you to sharpen your skills to be a PM afterwards. So that actually when you're coming there, you would already have an experience in those areas before, and you would be able to get there. Maybe it's easier for a software engineer than data scientist. Someone would ask me, as a data scientist, how can I switch to PM? You could actually play on that as your strength and as your specialization. You could be very strong in data analytics, in data science, and all what's related to that. And you could switch to a specific PM role, which is the data PM role. So it's actually product manager for data. I once had a role actually, which is very specific on building data products. So that's how I got kind of like my knowledge about the data side to get me where I am today, also in a different arena. And that would be the same for people who are data scientists and they want to switch to PM. They can have it as their strong specialization, which is data science, and then they get a little bit more in front end, I would say, and then cloud, and then they sum it up basically all together. The other thing is really communication. Make sure that you work a lot on your communication skills. Very simple words can mean different things to the backend engineer, to the data engineer, to the cloud engineer, to the user, to the business user. They're just the same word. It could have very different meanings actually when you speak with all of them. So you need to understand their knowledge and you need to train yourself beforehand on how to actually really sharpen your communication skills. I think those are the two main things. Make sure in your position where you are, you make sure you are as much as rounded with the technology as much as possible. And then second thing is your communication skills. And then you move into the 5 skills which I mentioned into the presentation. I hope this helps, Amani.
Thank you very much, Chada. Very informative answer, actually. Thank you all. Students, do we have the poll for the lightning talk?
It's coming.
Okay. So we actually have People's Choice Award. Like, it's not an actual award, but we want to know from the audience perspective, what do you think is the best lightning talk for today? And we are going to show you a poll soon, and you can vote for your best talk. And after that, we are going to move to our showcase, a chapter showcase. So ArabWIC chapters from Algeria, Egypt, Sudan, Tunis, Turkey, and UAE is going to showcase their work through the last year. And Dr. Manar will take it from there. Yes, all of them amazing. I know it's going to be tough. All of them amazing, really. It's very inspiring event today. We learned a lot from all the tests. I agree, Sarah. Okay, so you should all see now the polls, and you can answer, choose whatever your favorite lightning talk. Go ahead. They have only 40% people voted, so the remaining people are considering them all amazing. This is what I'm assuming.
Shall we end polling?
Yes, yeah, let's do that.
Okay, we'll just announce the top one. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to end the polling. Okay, so Ala, if you want to announce the winning people's choice.
Yes, so we have the technical skills for the technical product manager, Chada, Benmahcene, the first one, the second one.
I don't know that you want to announce the rest, just the top one. Yeah.
Yeah, the top one. Yeah, it's the technical skills, the technical product manager. Thank you all, lightning talk speakers. Thank you, Chada. Thank you, everyone.